the channel 5125, it's the channel of initiation, and it is the design of needing to be first. And gate 51 is arousing. It's the gate of shock, and it's a will center gate, which is that little red triangle to the right on the body graph. And then gate 25, which is innocence. It's the gate of the spirit of self. It's another identity gate, which is the yellow diamond. And gate 5125 is competitive, need to be first energy, and it's connected to universal love and the ability of the higher self to see and love the beauty in the animate and the inanimate equally.
Very much so. It's non-discriminating because God's beauty shines down on this earth, as like the story would go, let's say. And it said, let there be light. It wasn't let there be light on just, humanity. It was let there be light on all. And that light, yeah, on everything, including the dirt and the worms, all of it, right? And the oceans and the water and every speck and every molecule, let there be light. And so this ends up bringing that. And it's worth noting that 57 technically, as the embryo is becoming alive in that moment of conception, in order to really just sort of start making it happen, 57 has to shock it into existence. There's a gate 57 sitting there to shock the actual new life form into its now growth stage of separating, cell division. So it performs an amazing function inside of us. That's why it's the it initiates stuff. That's why it's the channel of initiation, because from nowhere comes the will to leap into the thing and initiate a new process. Seems very manifestory. If you're a generator, you better wait till you can respond. If you're a projector, speak if you're a projector, you better wait till the recognition is there and the feeling is good enough that others are seeing something, or you see it and you like it and want to share that, empower others with it. But the leaping is there to basically help the tribe get a little bit less sticky about its ways. We don't want the tribe encalcitrated and calcitrant and entrenched in their one way of tribalness. The individual always has to come and stir that genetic pot ever so slightly or a lot in order that the tribe stay truly vibrant in a changing world, because everything's changing at all times, So the leap, the warrior jumping into the innocence. Look at the 51, like the wild warrior that's like leaps into the hordes of enemy, even though knowing it's going to die. And the 25 says, hey, sometimes you didn't die. Look, I caught you. And it's innocence. It's an uncontrived innocence. What? What's that? Who did what? I guess they did. Hey, you don't like my pet rock? Well, now I don't like you. It's just a rock, Dan. Well, I still don't like you. I like my pet rock. Leave my pet rock. It's the animate, our love of animate. Well, it's your pet rock or me? It's a pet rock, right?
Yeah.
But you said you loved me. Well, not that much, apparently. Well, I mean, the animate is worth being loved. Inanimate, I mean.
Inanimate, yeah.
What is inanimate? What do we know? Our spiritual essence thrives in this melting box. 51 and 25 take that spiritual, this whole circuitry that goes up, that is this mystical circuitry that goes from 19 all the way up to 20. We won't get into it, but I just want to point out there is a mystical circuit separate from the ones we're talking about. It's there, and it is tribal, and it's sensed, it's rooted in our emotional wave of feeling and coming to this clarity of how do we commune in love. And there's 51, 25 right in the center of this circuitry as the go-between, as the shock monster that leaves the tribe and moves to the individual for its final awakening. This shocks the final awakening open. So yeah. I think it's amazing.
Oh, I love it. I this is my only channel, so I have like obviously a little special extra love.
Yeah, say some stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is my one. This is the big one, and it's very interesting because I definitely feel very much shocked out of the tribe. It's like you're part of the tribe, but like I'm always like shocked out of it to like go my own way and do my own thing. And I go down that path, and sometimes I find really great things, and I'm like, hey guys, look what I found. And if the tribe like deems it of value, then they'll like incorporate it in. And if they don't, then it's just like, oh, you're just being a little weirdo. And it's like, yeah, I guess. And I've
Hmm.
also noticed the sense of like, because it's forging a path ahead. It's like this will to forge a new direction. And I just like have this like imagery of like going with like a machete against the jungle, and like I can do it. Either like get beside me or get out of my way, because I'm gonna like hack this up and like forge a new direction.
Right.
So there's this energy of going ahead and forging a new path. And I've also noticed a bit of, oh, I went down ahead on this path and it goes somewhere, like there's a bear down there, we should not go that way.
Right.
And then kind of running back, trying to warn the tribe. And again, if the tribe deems it a worthy thing, then they'll incorporate it. And if not, even if I'm correct, um,
Right.
they can maybe like, well, we're not into it, you're acting too weird. And then like later on, it's like, well, I told you there was a bear down that way.
It was a conspiracy theory. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, the 5125 is very interesting, because the 51 is that like pure shock. The hexagram is thunder over and under. It's thunder over thunder. It's pure shock. It's pure surprise. There's always going to be something crazy coming, and I've just kind of grown used to it in a way.
You have, and I'm willing to bet, like, I can describe my 2430. I see it all the time, but I'm willing to bet living with a 5125 makes it so you miss it half the time. Because you are it. Like the fish in the water. It's like, I'm in water, really?
Yeah, I don't realize I'm shocking to people, and then I'm like, look at what I'm wearing, or like remember something I said, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that was pretty shocking. But yeah, I don't necessarily realize it, because it's like I am the shock, but I'm also the innocence.
Absolutely. They go together. It's the
Yeah.
priest and the warrior as an archetype is the
Hmm.
thing.
And
And go ahead.
no, you were on a thing.
Well, the warrior obviously is the 51, and then the priest is the 25, and they catch each other. Neither one survives alone, and they must survive together is the thing.
Mm,
And it's meant to bring a type of unity, and it hones in and basically coordinates and organizes our capacity to allow shocking things to become a little bit more mundane and
yeah,
become accepted and become like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, it seems shocking. Last week I was like, what the hell? And now it's like, no, I get it. And so this will
because
bring that in, it being part of the vessel of love and part of the cross of penetration. So between those two crosses, love and penetration go together. Let me penetrate you with my love, please.
I love
Yeah,
that.
right. Isn't that what we do all the time
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
or want to?
I like what you said, with the relationship with like the warrior and like the priestess kind of vibe, and it's like how they really need one another, and that just kind of got my brain going. It's like, oh, that makes sense, because in order to be able to have like a priest or a priestess or something, can like a person who's connected with the spiritual, it's like they need to be protected by the warrior. Like
Period.
like you can just be praying out somewhere dangerous, and like it might not work out so well. You need that warrior's protection, and also the warrior needs that priestess to have it be for like a noble cause and something worthwhile, to not just be like a wanton
And to
murderer or
touch the
something
spirit of the
crazy.
self so deeply that when the priest ordains the warrioring,
That's
that
a
the
worthy
warrior
fight.
stumbles forward with absolute empowerment,
Mm,
like absolutely empowered, like because he was ordained. God said it was okay. God said we need to type thing. You know what I mean? It's spiritual
mhm.
like that. It's very deep when this comes together. This is a great place of plant medicine. This is a great place of driving fast sometimes, but maybe not. It depends who you are. Um,
Uh-huh.
right? This is a great place of experimenting with things to try what might or might not work because you can't help it anyways. This is a
Yeah,
great place of fire, right? And this is a great place of blood. If you've got this channel, you've seen your share of your own blood. Most likely,
yeah,
I see if you've got any gates in this channel, you've seen your share of your own blood.
yeah. It's craziness. It's jumping into the unknown.
Why? Why do we leap into the unknown? That's stupid. That's
I
not very
feel it's
safe.
it's it's like that Terrence McKenna quote. It's like jumping out into the unknown to realize that you're going to be caught by a featherbed. And
Right.
like the 25 would be the featherbed, the 51 is jumping off into the unknown, and then the 25 is
Right.
that like featherbed that's there to catch you on your way down. I'm like, well, that was a good adventure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not sure what else to say about
I
this
have a
channel. I feel like,
couple.
yeah, please
I
go
got a
on.
couple of things. I was like, this is my one channel. This is my moment. Yeah, the first thing that I was going to mention is my other ego projector friends, our little group of us. One of them has mentioned how they like. Do you remember the Care Bears? Like,
Yep.
yeah, the Care Bears. They're all colorful, and then they had like a different like little design on their chest, and then they'd be like, the power of love, and they like put their little tummies out, and like love rainbows would shoot out of them. When our will is lit up and our identity is into it and that connection is there, and like I'm forging that new path, it's like it is this power coming out of our chest to like energetically like clear this path. And I've even had to learn to be careful of like when I'm like passionate about something, like I've learned to like aim my chest away from like my boyfriend, because like I will feel him like that is just so intense. It's almost, you know, it's like looking into like the sun. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I'll like turn another way and like keep talking to him to not put him in that powerhouse Care Bear stare of love. So
Wow.
yeah.
I find that interesting.
Yeah.
What was the second thing? Do you
The
remember?
second thing, with the 5125, because it's this like design of needing to be first, and it's like this competitiveness, but it's like a lot of times like there's the stuff we're competitive about in a way, but it's more like we're just overcome with I have to go do this thing. It's not even like I necessarily like want to be competitive with another person. There's just like I'm gonna go do this thing, but it's very interesting being so perceived as competitive even when I'm not, because again, majority of people at 65% have an undefined will. So they're amplifying our defined will. So Ra had this channel and he would say like he learned not to like argue or fight with anybody, because with the 5125, like they will then use our energy against us if we like feed them into it. So
Fight
it's like
back twice as hard type thing.
Yeah. So he said, like, when people start coming up to him to complain about something, he's like, that's interesting. That's nice. Because if you engage with them, it's like the other person's amplifying my energy. And I'm like, I don't even want to fight you. I was like, I don't even care. But
I
if
don't
we
even want
like,
to talk that hard about it. Might even be fight. It might just be let's talk harder, right?
and it just
right.
continues. And so, and I've been in that situation. I've learned not to. And I actually like, tried this out. This happened a little bit ago where somebody was like starting a stupid fight with me. And I was like, I don't even care anything. And I was like, I'm done. I'm not interested. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're done? What do you mean? I was like, I'm not fighting with you about this. This is stupid. And I saw him like deflate like a balloon, because I was like, I'm not doing this with you. I refuse to give him that energy to use against me. And he just like deflated and like walked away so awkwardly. And so, yeah, like you don't need to fight people, because people are going to take it even when you're not meaning to fight. So something I'm really practicing is just like, cool, interesting, like not my circus, not my monkeys, walk away kind of thing.
Not my monkeys. There's enough monkey action going on in here because after the being was centered, just like the slide before said, it's got to pour it out into the world. The centering doesn't go out into the world. For the 3410, so much it might land in the world accidentally, but but the 5125 does. So these two things, like one pulls one out into the world, the other pulls the other one in to gain more information about who am I? What is this internal thing I'm looking at? I'm saying that the 3410 is internal and the 2551 is definitely going to do something with the rest of the world, just like the previous slide said.
Okay, so the 3410 is like this internal situation, and then the 2551 is going to like externalize it in a way.
Totally. And
Okay,
then and then vice versa. This thing is a yin and a yang that keeps going together, because after I've externalized and done all this stuff, now I've got more stuff for self-reflection and contemplation. Internal exploration, self-exploration is a pretty powerful place to be.
All right, fascinating. That was cool to like link that up with the 3410 in a way, and for my brain to like wrap itself around. So yeah.
It's got the perfect name, centering circuit. It's got a perfect place separated from the rest of the knowing circuit. That was correct to do that. Rob was absolutely right. Not that he needed me to tell him that.
So thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Danny, for this. Thank you to our audience. And thank you for everyone watching live, everyone watching on the replay. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. I love it. It makes me really, really happy, and it helps us a lot. We're still a wee witty bitty baby channel, but we're building it. So we're happy to have you here with us. So thank you for hanging out, and we'll be back for more deep dives.
Till then, thank you very much, everyone.
Bye.